Okay, we're live, isn't it?
Happy Friday, Tuesday. I'm sorry. What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a while, but as you can see, we are here and no need to fear. Welcome to another great episode of Bucs Report, the aftermath with AJ Turnup here. We got Coach Slick, our championship defensive coach. We got a lot of shit to talk to y'all about today, but the most important subject of tonight is pay the man Baker. If you think that you have a better solution, we are all ears. But what I'm not going to do is allow people to blow smoke up our asses listening to what dumbass people on ESPN got to say, or somebody that you heard, well, he doesn't do well for me because he doesn't do good in fantasy. Fuck that. We're here to talk about real football. And
pretty well in fantasy.
Yeah, we're going to go down memory lane, Buck fans, just because since you motherfuckers have amnesia, we'll go down the quarterback lane, memory lane, and and then you can tell me how good it was when it came to us getting quarterbacks. But right now, let's just stick to the main subject. But again, Slick, how you doing, bro? How you doing, my man?
I'm all right, man. I'm just getting into this, reading what's going on in the world and seeing this whole Baker thing play out. Obviously, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka's retired. Just goes to prove that not everyone's built for the grind, right?
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. All I would say on that is you have to love football. And I think some people get to a point where they go, the grind's not worth it. And I think he's one of those guys who's got to that point. And that's not a bad thing. Because when you're in college, in high school, he probably didn't have to grind as hard. Then you have to grind a little bit harder in college. When you get to the NFL, you got to grind fucking hard. And I think he just was like, I just can't do another training camp. I just don't want to do it.
And he got his bag anyway, so he got a few mil, So again, hey, it is what it is. He was a bust for us, but you got to the NFL, you got to the best of the best. You made good money out there. So again, man, enjoy retirement. He's 20. I think he's like 20-some years old. So you got your brain intact, your body's intact. So that's cool. That's cool. But again, now let's get to the real order of business, though, because this Baker shit is pissing me off, Slick. I really just want to give a quick synopsis of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers history. So, guys, Bucs fans, be ready for this. Is going to be a bad memory lane, but I didn't do this. You motherfuckers did this. So, Slick. So, Bucs fans, ever since 2009. Especially after Gruden left and when Monty Kiffin said he's leaving. So peep this: 2009, 3-13; 2010, 10-6, didn't get to the playoffs. 2011, 4-12; 2012, 7-9; 2013, 4-12; 2014, 2-14; 2015, 6-10; 2016, 9-7, didn't get to the playoffs. 2017, 5-11; 2018, 5-11; 2019, 7-9. Now let's name all the quarterbacks: Josh Freeman, Byron Leftwich, Josh Johnson, Mike Glennon, Josh McCown, Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzmagic. That's a lot of damn quarterbacks. It's a lot of quarterbacks, Bucs fans. But you're sitting here with a straight face going, oh, no, we'll be fine. We don't want to overpay him. But you just realize, you do know that we have never drafted a quarterback to win us anything. Our best quarterbacks we drafted had to go somewhere else. Steve Young. Come on now. Doug Williams. Everybody that we've won with, we had to go get. Brad Johnson from Washington. Brady from New England. So what the fuck are we doing here, Bucs fans? You don't want to pay a man that has shown you that he's been a top 10 quarterback ever since he's been here. I don't give a fuck about Cleveland, y'all. Cleveland's ass. They didn't have the team that he has here. You can't judge from what he's done in Cleveland. Better yet, Bucs fans, look at Cleveland. What have they been like? What have they been like since Baker Mayfield has left? Answer that. Now, with that, I hold the floor to Slick. Please, Slick, try to talk some sense into some of these lost souls out here.
All right. I'm gonna flex it out. Okay. Quite simply, who the fuck you gonna get? Right. So a couple of years ago, when I first really got into football, Andy Dalton was just coming off his contract. I'm not saying that they're the same dudes, but he couldn't win in prime time. He wasn't a bad quarterback. He just couldn't win in prime time at that point in time. He was coming towards the end of his rookie deal. There was a conversation about paying him, and there were people in the media were saying that he shouldn't get what he's paid because of whatever. And then someone said, "Well, who are you going to get?" And the answer was nobody knew. No one knew what the answer was because it's not that fucking simple. If it was that fucking simple, people would change quarterbacks nearly fucking willy. They don't. When you got a good one, you cling onto them because you know if you got a shit one, you're back looking again. And you could be – the Buccaneers have been for the longest time, like Johnny Dean's just said, 2009, you can go back even further. Of course you can. Our point being is that quarterback search is fucking tough, man. And it's more about you look around the league and you see okay quarterbacks or good quarterbacks, and they're surrounded by talent, and they get better. We've always said we may look like we have a bit of a gripe to play with the Eagles, but their quarterback is a good quarterback, surrounded with talent. He has greatness he shows a bit more greatness. He shows taste of elite, which is why some of those fucking Eagles fans go on, he's elite. Because he's surrounded by the talent. We saw what he looked like in his first 2 years. He was fucking awful. Get him the talent, get him the line, get him all the pieces. Now he can cook. Yeah, Baker's shown you that if you give him some talent, he can cook. He also shown you that when the chips are down and the Mike Evans are off the field, he can still win with a rookie wide receiver and a beat up slot receiver coming back from injury. Remember that we also had Jalen McMillan was out as well with his bad neck. So we really didn't have a lot of receiving options with a rotating offensive line. And yes, that was the bit where it should have looked worse. It didn't. He ended up actually carrying the team a little bit, and we were all in error. And there was even MVP shouts for him. When was the last time we can honestly say that we've heard people chant MVP for a fucking quarterback on our team other than Brady?
Never.
That 2001 season with Brady, the year after the Super Bowl, that was an MVP kind of caliber season, right? That was probably the first time we've ever had people that weren't drunk out their fucking minds chanting MVP, like you hear at the Pittsburghs when Ben Roethlisberger used to be there. When you're at the Chiefs fucking place and they're chanting for Aaron Rodgers back in the day, and all these other quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes now or what have you, Brady back when he was in Gillette Stadium. You had that for Baker last year. Yes, we know that he got injured. We know that's a fact. Levante David said that guy was getting so much fucking work on his body that most people would throw in the fucking towel, but not Baker. So maybe Baker should have just saved face and went, fuck it, I'm not playing. And then how would people react? Oh, well, he's not got no heart. He's got no heart. He's got no fucking heart. He doesn't want to play. Da-da-da-da. Man, stop with this fucking...
That's it right there, Slick. It was a damn if you do. For some people, I just don't think that they like Baker. Now, I don't know. Did the man not sign your jersey? Did he fuck your girl in the past? What is it about this man that you don't like about Baker? You said it. If Baker doesn't shoot up, now, well, where's the leadership? He's supposed to play through everything. The man was, and again, Slick, this is where we got to get people who don't understand football. Ladies and gentlemen, the level that he was playing, if you think anybody in NFL history has sustained that level through 17 fucking weeks, put down Madden or put down the drugs, because that's not how football works. This ain't the fucking NBA. Slick, I think if people truly understood that in the NBA, they play both sides. NFL don't work like that. It takes a team to build you and get to the next level.
Also, you got 5 people rather than fucking 23 too. Yeah? You got 5 people versus, I wouldn't even say 22. I'd go even further than that. I'd say minimum 24. Because your punter's got to be decent. The punters, if you've got a good offense and a good defense, your punter doesn't have to be that great, but it's helpful. It's helpful in the playoff games when you need to be bailed out. Kicker's number 1. You can't have a shit kicker and expect to win a fucking championship. It's just not going. There's going to come a time where he's going to have to kick the big one, and if you can't fucking do it, knock it on the head, and he's done. Like that's it. And that usually tends to happen in the playoffs, right? In the playoffs, you ain't scoring up and down the fucking field like it's easy. In the playoffs, that's when you have to kick that. Every kick counts. People win games in the dying seconds quite often in the playoffs. So,
I like what you said right there, because those points add up. You're right, Slick. Those points do add up, because sometimes if you're too greedy and you miss those, let's say you miss 2 field goals and you end up losing the game by 1 point because of those field goals could have kept you in the game. So yes, I think people, again, Slick, if they don't understand how football works, everybody expects juggernaut teams that did very well in the regular season to replicate in the playoffs. That's not how football works. Like people will,
because you're not going up against top 10 defenses, top 10 offenses.
And remember, the 2005 Colts were a team. Yeah, a 2005 Colts, Harrison and Reggie, spectacular. They didn't win a Super Bowl though. Why? Because they had to go through the Steelers and the Patriots. Like Slick said, defense is what's going to take you there for the most part. That's going to win it all. If you think what you did in the regular season is going to be as simple as the playoffs, then you don't understand. Those are the teams that are delusion. Like Slick has said this plenty of times, a run-first team is never going to win a Super Bowl. Why? Because the first thing we're going to do is take that away from you, because we have the pieces to do it, and we're going to make your mid quarterback be something. How many times have we seen that? Yeah. It happens all the time. Look at the Titans.
Hey,
Ryan Tannehill.
Eventually, these great. You look at the teams that have won Super Bowls that have had great quarterbacks. Didn't just had great running backs. Sorry, also had good or to great quarterbacks alongside them. So every time you name one of those running backs, the big name, unless you're going back into the 50s or even the 60s, right? Those big name dudes. Mm-hmm. After say after the 70s, it all kind of, especially in the most recent years, especially in the last 30 years, there is no running back that good that has gone, yeah, I just carried my team to a championship.
Yep.
They just don't exist, because you need something more. You need to have more in the playoffs. Yeah, it's not how it works. But I will also say this to the people who don't believe in Baker. Baker made 2 OCs head coaches. The other OC, Bowles, has come out, and these same people saying you shouldn't want to throw away Coach Bowles. Well, Coach Bowles made a poor decision and allowed a guy that he even said after the season's done had no business being an OC. No business being an OC, and we still did meh.
And Baker still finished top 10 with someone who had no business being there. We saw what Baker did under Cohen. So, and there's an article that you guys got to read that they were talking about the injuries to the offensive line. That makes a big difference, ladies and gentlemen. But this is where it pisses me off about some of these motherfuckers out here, Slick. It's the narrative of popularity, because you know what quarterback everybody fucking coddles because of injuries and offensive line? Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow can get all of the praises and there's context to him, but Baker doesn't. Now, I'm not here to say that Baker is better than Burrow. He's not, but it ain't super far off either. But again, you cannot say one injury doesn't apply to the next individual. Baker's line had astronomical injuries. we saw what they were when they were healthy in 2024. We saw what Cohen did. And the funny thing, you just said it. What has Canales done without Baker? Bryce Young. He hasn't developed Bryce Young. Bryce Young is still Bryce Young. If Bryce Young doesn't have a season where he throws like 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns.
If Bryce Young doesn't have a good season and the Buccaneers let Baker walk, he's going to be a Carolina Panther.
Oh God. Oh God.
Why not? Why not? Because and I mean this in the sense of look at it from their point of view.
Yeah.
He's got priors with him. They had a good season together. Why wouldn't you? The Jags, it won't happen because they've already invested too much fucking money in Trevor Lawrence. They're not going to take that risk.
Right.
But the other team, Carolina Panthers, they definitely could. They definitely could look at him and go, "With what you've won with him, do you want to bring him in?" And like, yeah, fuck yeah, he probably would.
I agree. And another thing, let's look at Trevor Lawrence's salary. Let's look at his contract. Slick, I'm about to pull that up right now because this is where I have a lot of issues with a lot of people when it comes to Baker. So Trevor Lawrence, 5 years, $275 million. So basically $55 million a year. Now let's look up Trevor Lawrence's stats, Slick, because a lot of people love to talk about this. Trevor Lawrence's best year was 2022 and 2025. 2022, 4,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That is solid. This last year, 4,007, 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Never had a season like Baker. Trevor's never had a 2024 season.
No, he hasn't. Not even close. And I'm going to have some fun with this because I'm going to name the quarterback, and you're going to say, and this is just your opinion. Give me the nod or a shake of the head.
Okay.
I will say the name, and I will tell you, and you will tell me if that quarterback is worth $50 million plus.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Dak Prescott.
Yes.
Joe Burrow.
Yes. When healthy, yes.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Jordan Love.
No.
Okay. That's one. Trevor Lawrence.
Hell no.
Okay. Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
You're really thinking about that one. Jared Goff.
No. I think that's more of I think Jared Goff is more of the situation around him. I'd give him 47 million, not 50. Not 50 million.
Okay. Brock Purdy.
Hell no. That's Kyle Shanahan.
Okay. Justin Herbert.
No. Nope.
Okay. Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts.
Hell no. And he already proved that this last season.
Every single one of those quarterbacks has over $50 million as an average per year. The top end is Patrick Mahomes. The bottom end was Jalen Hurts with 51 million. Dak Prescott is 60. Joe Burrow is 55. Josh Allen is 55. Jordan Love is 55. Trevor Lawrence is 55. Matthew Stafford is 55. Not every quarterback, and this is what I'm trying, and this is the next part I will go with. Every time a year rolls around, quarterbacks get paid. And what happens is the market gets reset. So the guy, Tom Brady, I believe, has probably never, ever led the years as the highest paid quarterback. Aaron Rodgers has. But there's also been names out there that are in that top echelon of being paid quarterbacks that were never really that good.
No.
Like, I think Dak Prescott's been in that conversation a very long time. He's been in that top 10 highest paid quarterbacks.
Yeah, and it's crazy you mentioned Jordan Love. His best year was 2023, 4,159 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. That's not a Baker Mayfield season.
To pay Baker Mayfield that kind of money. No, because there are quarterbacks in that echelon that you can turn around and say he is better than. Yes,
he's better than.
Let's and then this comes down to opinion. Patrick Mahomes, yes, I would say Patrick Mahomes is better. Yes. And then it can get subjective. It depends what you like. I think Josh Allen is a better quarterback at the moment. Matt Stafford is, but I don't think he will be for much longer. Jared Goff, I can't see them on the same kind of par to a degree. I think they're in equal.
Give me Baker, because Jared. I think if you put, you can move Jared. You can't move Jared Goff around to multiple teams because he's a statue, and he has Campbell, and you can tell he needs his line more than Baker. Baker's good with or without the line. Jared is he's the stiff quarterback. So I'll take Baker.
So let's say the unthinkable the unthinkable happens and Baker ends up walking.
Yeah.
What are the actual options for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And that's that's going to be the future. That's going to be the future. It's going to be people like Mac Jones. It's going to be people. Exactly, but that's the future. If you
that's
take
not a good future.
Right, we know what Bowles is.
Yep.
Right. If someone said, Steve, take a stab in the dark of what the record's going to be next year, it's going to be between 7 to 10 wins. That's where it's going to be. 7 to 10 wins. Because that's what Bowles is. He's a 7 to win. Since he's been on the Buccaneers, he's a 7 to 10 win dude. That's what you're going to get. Are you going to be able to draft a guy? Not everyone finds that diamond in the rough, and the Buccaneers certainly fucking haven't.
Yes,
so
exactly.
That's my point.
I like that you said that, because if it's a 7 to 10, then he's gone anyway, because at that point, like you said, he's a stalemate. But if he goes less than 7, Slick, he's definitely gone. And then the Bucs get gutted from there. That means we're losing certain players. We're losing maybe Villa or Winfield, because at that point, we got to blow the whole thing up and restart. But again, Bucs fans, as we just said, who in fucking college right now do you think has a higher ceiling? And again, that's a big if, Slick. See, that's the problem. College doesn't translate to the pros all the time. You just talked about JTS. Now, I ain't saying he was the biggest thing coming out, but he was a high round pick player, and he didn't pan out. So again, Bucs fans, what are we doing here?
I'd like to address this. The only difference is, Olsen, is that the Buccaneers are in a little bit more know-how than you, because you've watched games. They've got film. They've got fucking cut-ups. They've got practice. They see him every day. They spend time with him in the building. They know what he is. They've been with him since day one. They know everything there is possibly to know about Baker, whereas we're just going off what we see. Their depth of knowledge of what Baker can and can't do is far extends what we can.
That's right.
And so it's not. There's no hope. They have a better understanding, and I suppose there is still a little bit of hope, but their understanding of what Baker can do and what he can't do is way above what we can. There's fucking scouts on the team. There's everyone around, right? They know what he can and can't do to a degree, right? So it's a little bit different. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. Bowles, yeah, I suppose you could say that about Bowles, but Bowles has been declining since day one.
Yes.
Since he's got down. Bowles has only gone down. Yeah, absolutely. It applies to Bowles. However, the difference with Bowles is it's been a steady decline.
Mm-hmm.
And Bowles ain't nobody giving him the fucking credit of the Canales season. There were people who wanted Bowles fired and Canales hired.
Yep. Slick, I do remember that. I remember that shit.
Probably one of them.
Well, I was like anybody but Bowles, but I think, like you said, that was a nice big voice. But when Liam came, after Liam, here's the things. After Liam, you know me. I think the majority of Buck fans were like, hey, Liam stays, Bowles, you got to go. So that's the point. Those two got jobs. And out of those coaches, Cohen shows you that I can develop. Canales, as we said, Slick, he hasn't developed Bryce. But again, Bowles, like you said, Slick, has been declining. Baker has shown you he can do more with less. Bowles is the opposite. And Slick, there's no knock to him, but maybe Bowles has to have all the cards and all the stars got to align for him to be really effective. Nothing wrong with that. When he has depth, he is a defensive mastermind. But there's the difference. He's a better coordinator than actual head coach.
I would say that for Bowles to be the most, he needs to have two solid edge rushers. You give him that, I think he can do magic. I generally do. And he hasn't had that. And I think the Buccaneers, probably their biggest thing they need to do, every season we've probably talked about it, is go and just waste some draft capital on taking somebody else's already proven dude. Because I think that's the one thing that is missing from Bowles' recipe, that you can see that steady decline, because I haven't seen anything else. And what's been the biggest component that's been missing? It's been pass rush. It's been pass rush. We had a rookie, Diaby, who was very good as a rookie. And then after that, it was kind of...
He got figured out. I think he got figured out. He got figured out
to a degree. And also, when you're the only pass rusher that is worth a fucking damn, you can fucking double up a little bit.
I agree. You can go, okay.
You can do some things with him because you ain't worried about the other side because they ain't going to do shit.
Exactly. And we got someone lurking in the shadows, and his name is Dude. He ain't afraid to be rude or crude. So come on out here, dude. I know you fired up. Talk your shit.
Okay. How the fuck is Baker Mayfield a flash in the pan when he did 2 years in a row with two competent offensive coordinators, and he still averaged 3,000 yards, almost 30 touchdowns, 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio with a shit coordinator that the coach admitted shouldn't have been put in that position, with a decimated offensive line and a decimated receiver core and a defense that couldn't hold a lead if their life depended on it. But we're going to go ahead and say those 2 years with Baker, 2 years in a row, by the way, were one-hit wonders. That's not how one-hit wonders work at all. It's literally in the fucking title. One. We've got 2 solid years from Baker. We've got a top 10 year for the third year under a decimated team, shitty coaching, and shitty play calling and decision making. But it's okay because everybody has their opinion. But opinions are like assholes. They all stink, and half of you don't know how to fucking wipe one. Okay? So with that said, the question, as Slick posed, if not Baker, who? Well, I've heard we could draft Arch Manning. So y'all prepared to go 1 and 5th, 16 and get that first overall pick? You know that means there's going to be a new coach. There's going to be a new GM. And they're going to gut the roster. So they're not going to bring in a franchise quarterback on a team that they're rebuilding. You bring in a franchise quarterback when you have the majority, if not all the pieces in place. With that said, so let's look at free agency. Mac Jones, 60-some touchdowns, 40-something interceptions. That's your fucking answer? Probably not. How about Jacoby Brissett? Because that's where we're going to after this. Okay? Tom Brady ain't walking through that free agency fucking turnstile. All right? Nobody in the draft, not even this fucking chode from Texas Tech, Sorsby, is going to do what you think he can do. But here's where we're at. You can either pay Baker, meaning the Buccaneers, and by the way, it ain't your all's fucking money. So quit pocket watching grown-ass men, okay? That's a whole fucking another topic. But it's not your money. We already know Jason Light will make it work under the cap. Hell, we did pretty good eating $80 million in dead cap that 1 year. So all this talk about money and all that shit, that's just you all grasping at straws looking for a reason not to fucking do it. Here's what it is. If you've been a Buccaneer fan as long as I have, you watched every motherfucking franchise quarterback they ever drafted walk out that fucking door and go on to do bigger and better things elsewhere. It used to be a running joke amongst Buccaneer fan base. We draft them so they can go win championships elsewhere. And now we've got a quarterback who, by the way, is tied for third all time on the Buccaneers list for playoff wins. Think about that for a minute, you chodes. He's also averaging 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions over 3 years with the Bucs. Now, if you want to be fair to the Baker haters, make me a list of all the players that over the last 3 years have averaged 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. And what you do when you do that, you realize, holy shit, 50 plus million ain't that big of a deal. But again, why do you care what they pay him? We already see the salary cap can be twisted, turned, and manipulated to fit whatever the fuck you want. Or do you want to be the Cleveland Browns, who perpetually stay in a state of looking for a quarterback? They literally went through 30 fucking quarterbacks before they got Mayfield. He wins them a championship, or I'm sorry, a playoff game. He gets hurt, and they turn and divert their eyes, just like you people are, to the new shiny thing. Ooh, look at massage master Deshaun Watson. He's going to solve all the problems. He didn't. Well, we're going to draft these two and these two. They didn't work out either. So Cleveland had their answer. They let him go. We grabbed him. Think about this. There's a saying in sports when it goes from head coaching to quarterback and all the way down. You never want to be the guy that replaces the man. You want to be the guy that replaces the man who replaced the man. And in this case, you don't want to be the guy to walk into the fucking Buccaneers locker room after Tom Brady. You can't fill those shoes. You're going to be held to such high fucking scrutiny. And what has he done in those 3 years? 4,000 yards a season average, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He did it. The team just didn't follow. Okay? If you get the same defensive performance and the same coaching performance that Brady got, we might win a Super Bowl. And now, so then they're going to move the goalpost. Well, so you're saying Baker Mayfield has to have a competent coaching staff and competent roster around him. Yeah, every motherfucker does, you simple bitches. Name me one that doesn't. Name me one that doesn't. Name me one quarterback in this league that's had mid-level coaching and mid-level talent and done anything. I'll wait. We can sit on here live until midnight tonight. I'll be here. My DMs are open 24/7. Every motherfucker that knows me has my phone number. Call me. Tell me your answer. Because you don't have one. Here's the thing. Whether you don't like him or not is irrelevant. You are not paying him. If the Buccaneers don't sign Baker, it's not like the tickets are going to get cheaper, you dumbasses. Okay? If the Buccaneers don't sign Baker, it's not like they're going to go out in that year's draft and draft who? Arch fucking Manning? First of all, there's like a 40% chance he even makes it as a starter. Second, we would have to be in the top 2 or 3 to get him. So who's another quarterback? Oh, well, that kid from Oregon's doing really good. Really? So you're going to roll the dice and spend 3 to 4 years figuring that out because you're committed with the rookie contract, or you're going to go ahead and re-sign the guy that's actually performed 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions over 3 years. Again, make me the list of the last 3 years, not any 3 years, the last 3 years that a quarterback has done that. Name me any quarterback that has led an offense that got 2 coordinators head coaching jobs in their first year as coordinators and back-to-back years. But yet you're going to say, well, the whole reason that Baker was so good was because of Canales and Cohen. Okay, so if that's the case, then if the coordinators are that important, why are we focusing on the fact that the coordinator last year, Grizzard, is now just a pass game coordinator for a team? He didn't go lateral. He didn't step down 1 notch. He stepped down 5 fucking notches. But again, you don't like Baker, or you don't like the way he plays, or he's too this or he's too that. What did he do to you? Did he fuck up your parlay? Did he lose you your fantasy team? Did he make it to where you go, well, I'm just going to hold everybody to the standard of Tom Brady? You do that, and you'll be holding that and your dick in your hand because nobody else will pay attention to anything you're fucking saying. The fact of the matter is, again, until you can give me a list of the quarterbacks who have averaged 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions over the last 3 years, once you give me that list, I'm going to show you they're all paid the same as what Baker is asking for. So here's the thing I don't get. We're coming up on the 250th anniversary of this fucking country, good, bad, or ugly, or otherwise. Right. In this country, we like the scrapper. We like the blue-collar guy. We like the guy who's been written off and comes back from the fucking dust and depths of hell and resurrects himself like a phoenix. That's what the fuck Baker is, and you guys are shitting on it. You're shitting on it because you don't want a post from 2 years ago or 6 months ago to make you look stupid. So instead of deleting your bullshit, you're going to keep towing the fucking line and towing the fucking line. Hell, one of the biggest newspapers in the state of Florida, one of the most credentialed people for the Buccaneers in the state of Florida, just wrote an article talking about the huge drop-off from Baker Mayfield first half of last season to the second half, and yet didn't mention injuries, didn't mention the line was injured, didn't mention Baker was injured, didn't mention the coordinator was willfully and woefully over his head. Just, oh, well, he was really good, and then the next week he came out and he just wasn't playing good. No, the team was decimated. He was injured, first reported here. The team wasn't reporting all of his injuries, first reported here. At some point, I don't need my dick sucked. But at least acknowledge that we were on it before anybody else. And just at least acknowledge that we're consistent. I don't think Baker is worth $60 million, but he damn sure is worth 50 to 55, 56. And here's the fun fact, guys. If they give him a deal, it's going to be a 3 or 4 year deal with 1 or 2 void years added to the end, meaning that cap number isn't going to be the 50 and the average annual. It's going to be less. It's going to be adjusted. And then here's another fun fact. He signs a contract that you all hate. And then next year he converts it to salary bonus and turns out all in the cap space for the team. Just like we always do. Just like they always do. So y'all are pocket watching over money that can be moved around with one decimal point and one stroke of a pen, and it's taken care of. So it's not really about the money. And it's obviously not about the stats. So it's personal. It's an axe to grind. And that's the thing. In this beautiful place that we like to call America, you're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to axe and grind it and do whatever you want. What you're not going to do is sit there and tell me there's any quarterback coming available in free agency or in the draft that is better than 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 12 interception average over 3 years. You're not going to tell me that because there isn't. Okay? Arch Manning barely cracked 35 or 34. I think it was 3,100 yards. His best season. And by all rights, every NFL draft person looked him in the eye at the end of the season and said, you need to go back to college for another year, sir. You're not ready. That's who you want? You're going to hire a name or you're going to hire results? You're going to hire a prototypical poster boy or you're going to hire the guy who literally embodies the state of Florida's mentality, the city of Tampa's mentality. He fucking plays like a dog. He acts like a dog. He walks, talks, and does the walk. And I think in the bottom of my heart, for some reason, that upsets you. And the only reason it could was because you predicted the opposite would happen and it didn't. So now you got to save face. And that's the problem throughout social media and the internet. People can't go, hey, you know what? I was wrong. You can't do that. Now, with that said, how many quarterbacks have drug on and made a big drama fest about their contract situation through mini camps and training camps? Several quarterbacks in the history, right? Remember all these guys? It became a big distraction. People were like, oh, man, we can't have this, right?
Right.
Okay. What does Baker Mayfield have to say about this contract situation? Let's find out.
No, pretty much the same. But for me, like I told you guys, it's not going to affect how I approach this. Things will happen when they should. But for now, I'm worried about getting better each day, finishing minicamp and this off-season program the right way, and going into training camp. So, yeah, just handle it one day at a time.
So my question to you is, what is the problem? And once you tell us what the problem is, we've got no problem hearing that. But what's your solution? My solution is keeping the guy who has righted the ship and kept it sailing forward in the right direction since Brady left. The guy who the team thinks is worthy of it, who the players think are worthy of it, who the coach thinks is worthy of it, who the GM thinks is worthy of it. So here's where we're at. The professionals or the coaching staff that you guys have so much faith in believes in them. Why don't you? Are you doubting Todd Bowles? See how you can't have it both ways, guys? You can't say Todd Bowles is doing a good job and then doubt his decision. You did hear his comments the other day. Of course we want Baker back. Why wouldn't we want Baker back? Baker's our quarterback. Okay? Now, again, it's been 15 minutes since I've been on here. Anybody got that list yet? Anybody?
Nobody got
no?
it. They ain't got
okay.
It, man.
All right, well, check it out. I'm going to help you all out here. Because I'm a kind man. So here's what I'll do. I will put this in the group chat. I'm sorry. I will put this on the show chat. Bucs Report 2017 at gmail.com. There you go. In the chat on YouTube, you will see there's an email being posted right now. By all means, when y'all come up with that list, email it to me. And we'll write it as an article. Okay? We'll give you the pros and cons of the people that you put forth. And if you make a good point, we'll say, okay, that's a viable option. Do you see how easy that was? See how simple that was? Now, Buccaneers are at a turning point. If you remember, I told you guys probably early October last season that Baker was more hurt than being reported because I had a friend of mine talking to the training staff.
That's right.
That same friend has told me that Todd Bowles is retiring after the season regardless. So now what?
Oof.
Now what, boys? See what I mean?
Oof.
Might want to have a consistency at quarterback position if you're bringing in a new coach. And let's be honest, Zach Robinson wasn't hired just to be the offensive coordinator. He was hired to be the next head coach. So now we have the perfect situation here. We have an offensive coordinator that can build his resume using Baker and end up with the head coaching job. Baker gets paid, the coach gets paid, and we as the Bucs aren't the Cleveland Browns looking for fucking a quarterback for the next 10 years. Think about this. From the time Doug Williams left to play for the Redskins, we looked for a quarterback. That was 1982, or as some of you would say, the late 1900s. So from 1982 all the way up to Brad Johnson. Drafted quarterbacks, signed quarterbacks, they all failed. Brad Johnson left because Gruden's a cocksucker. And who do you bring in? Another guy named Johnson, fucking Garcia, Mike Glenn, all these fucking chodes. So then we went from 2004, all the way up to Brady again, looking for a quarterback. Drafted plenty of them. Number 1 overall, Jameis Winston. Drafted, signed, couldn't find a shit. We land Tom Brady. He turns this franchise into a Super Bowl champion just by setting the standard. And let's be honest, greatest quarterback to ever play the game. He retires. Every one of you watching this show, every Buccaneer fan across the fucking globe went, well, that was fun. Back to the news and day in and day out bullshit of looking for a quarterback. And then the Buccaneers signed Baker Mayfield, and half of you went, oh, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him. He's horrible. Oh, you mean the guy that got cut by Carolina and the Rams in 1 year? Har, 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 har. And then he came and balled out. And you're like, well, that was 1 year. Then he came out and balled out again. Oh, well, that was just 2 years. And then they hired the shittiest offensive coordinator that they've had in a long time. Then the offensive line went down almost every fucking position. Ben Evans went out. Godwin's missing. McMillan ain't there. Defense can't hold the lead to save their lives. But that's all on Baker. Baker blew the fucking 3rd and 20.
3rd and 28.
Right?
3rd and 28.
Yeah, Baker blew that, right? So this is my point. It's okay to not like something, okay? I don't like broccoli. But that doesn't mean broccoli isn't good for other people and doesn't deserve a chance to be there. I don't like the Florida Gators. But that doesn't mean they don't deserve a chance and shown respect. What you all are doing is disrespecting a man who does something you can't fathom. He's done something you can't comprehend, that you can't do physically or mentally. He has gone from the number 1 overall pick to being cast aside, to being bounced around like a $3 schoolgirl on fucking prom night. And then he lands here. He plays solid, 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions over 3 years. And you guys are like, nah, man, he just mid. Give me Mac Jones. Literally go fuck yourself. Literally step back, wipe your face off, and fuck your own face.
Damn.
There it is. But
hey,
no lie was told. There was no lie told. Buck
no lie told. But let's go through this because I like where his ass is at. So completion percentage in his first year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because everyone tells me it's just 1 year. I saw that Olsen said 1 year he was good. He's a flash in the pan for 1 year. So his first year, he obviously wasn't the flash in the pan. So in completion percentage, he was 19th. Isn't great. Not bad. But isn't great. Yards, 9th. So he's top 10. Touchdowns, 7th.
Yep, top 10.
So when you take those numbers and you average them out, he is above average. He's above average. Okay? Minimum. If we go with the INTs, we know the INTs will put him at, well, Josh Allen had the most.
Yep.
Sorry, Sam Howell had the most. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts all have more. Patrick Mahomes have more. Trevor Lawrence have more. All these people are being paid more than Baker Mayfield. Jared Goff have more. Baker Mayfield had 10.
You can't make this shit up again.
Let's go and check the next year, because obviously, clearly, you got to string multiple years together, right? Also, remind me, AJ, who was our running back during that season, and how good were we running the football? We
were dead last under Canales in 2020.
So this dog shit quarterback out of fucking nowhere who had a flash in a pan in a completely different year.
Yep.
Goes and what was the Buccaneers' identity? Throw the fucking football.
Yep.
And try to run it. Try to run the football.
Yep.
Dead last. And you still got the shit done. So the following year, completion percentage. And I haven't looked at these. Baker is 3rd.
Good God. I didn't know that.
Baker is 3rd. Touchdowns. Baker is 2nd.
Yep.
Interceptions. Baker did not have his better year. He was number 1 for the INTs. So you take all those, he's still in the top 10 and the averages. So let's go to his last year, the one where he was a bit beat up and a little bit, people will say we're making excuses for him. So let's put the excuses into play. Let's put it into play, because I always think you got to put your money where your fucking mouth is. So let's have a look. Completion percentage. Baker was way out. It was a bad year for Baker. I don't even think he shows up until a bit later on. Bear with me a moment. I don't know. He must be really low. Baker was 25.
Okay.
It's a bad year. Yards.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Touchdowns. I think touchdowns 7th.
Touchdowns, he was 8th. Joint 7th.
Tight top 10.
Top 10. Interceptions. And this is where you don't want to be top 10. He was 7th. Okay? So we know that he does have a habit of throwing the ball to the opposition. But I'm telling you right now, I remember the Jameis Winston roller coaster years. I don't get that vibe when I watch the Buccaneers play. I don't think, Baker's just going to fucking throw it to the other team and they're going to pick six it. I don't get that feeling inside. I have hope. I believe. All I'm going to fucking say is you can't turn around and say he was a flash in a pan when in every statistical count, and we know every statistical count, he would have, if you take it all the laws of averages, he isn't above average quarterback. He's in your flash in the pan, he's probably a top fucking 5.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like that's what it chaps me because motherfuckers are just, you don't want to accept it. And again, he did that. There's nothing, Slick. The defense was top 10 maybe his first year, but then after that, it got completely worse. But like you said, that's what gets me about people. Well, here's the problem, Slick. I just think because he don't get people moist enough. Because the issue is, well, he doesn't play like Burrow. He doesn't play like Josh. Who fucking cares? As long as he gets the shit done. Okay,
quite simply, I can, because he just joined a team, completely new people.
Mm-hmm.
We just covered. He wasn't average. He was above average. He was definitely above average. Evans and Godwin, completely.
Well, wait a minute, no, Slick. Wait a minute. Let's
no run game. No run game.
Hold on, Slick. Let's go back down memory lane. And now you might not remember this, but since you want to go there, Icewater, Brady had a prime Evans. How many games did it take Evans to break 1,000 yards with Brady his first year, Slick? Do you remember?
Towards the end.
The last game of the fucking season. And he barely scraped 1,000 yards. Now, that was prime Mike Evans, Olsen. But this is where context matters, Slick. Again, Slick, you know this. Typically, what type of offense did Arians like to run when he was when Brady first got there, the first year, the first half of the season? What kind of offense did we run?
Sling that motherfucker and have some
Air
fun.
Coryell. Exactly. What type of offense is Brady normally used to in New England?
Keep it short, keep it tight.
West Coast short timing routes. There it is. So there's a big difference. If anything, Slick, Godwin fitted more into the mold of the receivers that Brady likes to throw to. Your Edelmans, your Amendolas, your Wes Welkers, the short intermediate guys. Evans is more of a gunslinging. That's what gunslinging quarterbacks love because they can launch
that's why Jameis Winston had fun with him. That's why Fitzpatrick had fun with him, because you could just fucking throw it up and that guy was coming down with it.
Right. And I want to go to this comment, UDOT. Here's the issue with that. Here's the issue, UDOT. That's not a quarterback issue. That's a scheme issue. Have you seen the Bucs with their screens in the past? If anything, the Bucs are notorious for having shitty screens. His vision is fine. And remember this, he's not pocket quarterback, UDOT. That's another thing, Slick. He's not a fucking pocket quarterback. Baker is 6 foot. I think, Slick, you might be taller than him by an inch.
I think, yeah. I think I'm 6'2".
So there it is. You know this, ladies and gentlemen, 101. Short quarterbacks are not your pocket quarterbacks. They can't see over the line. They can't see. That's why most shorter quarterbacks under 6'2", they're rollout guys. They're the guys. The exception of the rule is Breeze, but Breeze also had Sean Payton. That's where you guys got to understand how football works. You have to play to your strengths. Hold on, Icewater, what you say? now you know better. Brady was getting the ball to everyone, not being elevated like, Ice Porter. That's not true because, again, look at the repertoire Randy Moss had and Brady had. Randy Moss broke the touchdown record, and it didn't take him 16 games to get 1,000 yards. So, again, Olsen, I got you on that. You got to remember how it works with certain repertoire and players. Again, come on now.
Chris Godwin got 1,000 yards in Baker's first year, and so did Mike Evans.
Hey, hold up. Wait a minute.
He got 455. Rashad White got 549. So there goes the fucking check down bullshit. They don't have a check down, but the running back's got 549 yards. That can't all be off fucking running back tunnel screens. Trey Palmer got 335 and 3 touchdowns. So guys did eat also. So I think if you put it comparisonly, they're probably not that massively different.
Yeah, I hear you. And I know who you is. Jason, I already knew that. I was trolling. But yeah, no. Again, I think Baker at best is a 2-option quarterback. I don't think he's just a first option. I disagree with that. Again, you got to design the right plays for him. But again, most of your pocket quarterbacks, Slick, what do most teams do for their pocket quarterbacks? They usually assign them great offensive line, but also they're not mobile. Baker does his best work out of the pocket.
You need a fucking check down if you've got no mobility.
Right, and Baker is better out of the pocket, not in the pocket. So I think that's where a lot of people, that's where Grizzard failed him, Slick. How many times, Slick, did we watch games where literally every receiver, it looked like they were just running a vertical? Everybody was just, every fucking vertical. I'm like, my Lord, where are the crossing routes? Y'all know everybody. Jason, you know me.
Where are the slants? Where's the bread and butter? Where's
I love my crossing routes. Where are the hitches? That's
nice little corner hitch. You got the wide receiver going on the hitch, and the slot goes on the corner route. Oh, I love that shit.
That's what I'm saying. And remember, Slick. Now I know, like, for most people, what do you think is the hardest throw for a quarterback in the NFL?
Corner route.
My man, Steve. There it is, Slick. Hey, Slick, didn't in 2024?
You're flexing the one side of the field. It's a deep route, and it's right on the side. It's usually caught on the side, just close to the sideline.
Hey, Slick, 2024 against the Saints. What was that throw that he threw to a rookie at that in Jalen McMillan against the Saints? A corner route on the what, Slick? He didn't do it in the pocket. He did that bitch on the run. So what does that tell you, guys? He can throw the difficult routes on the run. Slick, that is the best throw. I'm sorry, that's the best throw of Baker's career. Most quarterbacks cannot do that. Most quarterbacks. That is superbly hard. If anybody doesn't know, he had to time that throw, and he had to anticipate the receiver, and he had to anticipate the defender. That's fucking hard. That's elite passing. So for people out there, I get it. And Jason, I hear you. And in the pocket, he might be a 1 to 2 option read at best. But why put him in that situation when he doesn't have to be? And mind you, Slick, we got top tier tackles. Gedeke and Wirfs will handle the outside. Again, Slick, every team don't have a fucking Myles Garrett. So why not play to that strength? Like, we're going to go against the Bengals week 1. Slick, they ain't got Hendrickson anymore. I'm going to the outside. If I'm the Bucs, I'm going to tell the Bengals.
Run it to the outside. I'm going to fucking throw it to the outside.
Exactly. I'm going to test
all day long.
I'm going to tell the Bengals, I dare you to do something to the outside. And looks like I might be a dick about it and test it in the middle and see. Fuck Dexter Lawrence. I want to see what he can do with Cody Mock back in there helping out Barton. So again, Slick, this is why I think a lot of people got to realize this. When it comes to Baker, any quarterback, Slick, you have to play to their strengths. And you got to have a healthy team. Again, what I don't like, Slick, is people give Burrow this long ass rope of leniency. But when it comes to Baker, like you said, well, I just don't like that. I don't give a fuck what you don't like. It's about what he can do. And we said this already, Slick. The man did it without a run game in 2023. Without a run game, y'all, he got us a playoff win. Baker almost got us to an NFC championship. If you think about it, it's our coach that fucks up. And Slick, I want to go back to these interceptions in 2025. Do you realize there are 3 interceptions that are literally not his fault? 2 of them came from Otten. Do you remember the Rams game when he had the ball?
There are a couple of tip. The problem is when the tip balls, that shit fucking that hurts.
Well, no, Slick. 2 of them got snatched out of Otten's hands, literally snatched out. That's an interception. Oh, Cam Johnson, he literally stopped his route and just did this. So if we really took away those 3 interceptions, he'd be under 10 interceptions.
And I think there's some thought to that. Like, obviously, we're not privy to every route that's supposed to be run, and obviously the offensive coordinator and the head coaches get sat there, and when they analyze film, they know that X amount of fucking interceptions are on the quarterback, or if they're on the wide receiver. We aren't privy. Sometimes they're obvious, like you've just said, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes we just don't know because we don't know. And that's interesting in that sense. Well, all I will say is, and dude hit on this, I will hit on this, and I know you will. I'm still not being told the guy's name. I'm still not being told this person that's magically going to come. We're going to get rid of Baker, and this new person's going to come in, and then boom, we're going to be fucking. We're just going to be fucking. We're just going to be okay with somebody else. If it's going to be a quarterback from the draft, we've got growing pain. We've got at least 2 years of growing pain.
Jason, shout out to Jason. Hey, y'all, Jason is one of the biggest Otten critiquers, and I love that shit, but he ain't wrong. Everybody loves Cade Otten, but Slick, Cade is as hot and cold. When he doesn't, when he's on, he is on. When he is off,
he needs to get consistent. Off. That's his.
I hear you, bro. Jason and I, we watched the game. We watched at the bar. We be like, bro, come on, Otten. For God's sakes, just catch the ball. But again, I'll leave this on a high note though, and I want to leave y'all with this. Again, imagine a healthy Bucs team. Worse, the line is healthy. The receiving core is healthy. Zach Robinson comes in and he plays to his strengths. Guys, $51 million. Let's say this, like, he gets $52 million for 4 years, $240 million, and he gets 140 of that guaranteed. You're walking away winning. You have 4 of Baker's prime years. Now, Slick, he comes in secure. Because here's the funny thing, Slick. And again, if he has a 2024 season, and let's say, Slick, he cuts the interceptions from 16 to 9. So let's say, Slick, he throws 4,530 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. We can't afford him. He's gone. Arizona would want him. You said it. Carolina would want him.
Who would want a quarterback who is on the precipice of greatness? Because he's on that fucking thing. He's on that thing, right? Like, we can argue, like, people are gonna, NFL coaches will be looking at the Buccaneers. Why the one season where they didn't make the playoffs? Why didn't they make the playoffs?
Yep.
What was the defining reason? And if they'll say it's him, and they know their dues, they know they have people in who talk or what have you. But I'm just saying this: he will be a hot commodity come free agency, and he will be hotter than any other. He'll be hotter than any other quarterback that we're gonna get. If he so you may as well get the hot potato while it's there.
Again, guys. 2009 to 2019. I just want you to think about that. I want you to think about that tonight. I want you to go back and watch those fucking seasons and tell me, oh, we're good at quarterback. So again, I want to appreciate you all for checking out Bucs Report, the aftermath. I need y'all to subscribe to that YouTube channel, bring other people in. And again, if you have solutions or you got ideas, and if you want to challenge us, we are fans of the game first and the Bucs. We'll bring you on. We'll give you a shout out. We'll hook you up. Then, if you don't want to see our faces, you can go to Spotify and Apple Music. You can catch me, AJ_turnup on TikTok, where I cook people every day. I just cooked up people earlier. So like somebody thought that Gibbs was better than Bijan Robinson, had to cook him. I'm like, no, like, stop it. Of course, he was a Detroit fan, but stop that. But again, guys, give Coach Lick an opportunity on my YouTube channel. It's about bucking time. He's a defensive championship coach, and his team is in the season right now. How y'all looking? What's your record right now?
Oh, good. Let's not talk about it.
No worries. Don't worry.
We got promoted, which means we're going up against a much higher caliber of competition. It's been real tough. And the goal this year was to survive. So in our football, we have demotion and promotion. So the goal this year was just to stay up. We stay up. That means we can recruit better, because the thing is, when you first go up, everyone's like, oh, they're going to be a yo-yo team. They go up and they go straight back down, right? So you kind of got to prove yourself. You stay there a year, then some of the bigger name recruits start coming to you, and then you can start really building out. We got a big game this week. If we win this game, we stay up, basically. If we win this game, we're done. It's over. We win.
Well, you got my support, bro. But as always, take care of yourself and go Bucs. And
go Bucs.
Pay the man. Pay the man.
Pay the man. Okay, guys, that is it from us, and I really appreciate everyone chipping in the comments and everyone watching, all 21 of you right now. They're here. Ice Water, just come on, man. You got the codes to get into this. You know that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Next one. Come on. It's always good to have these debates and these conversations. It's absolutely, it fulfills me anyway. Because everyone has their own opinion, and it doesn't mean anyone's wrong until, well, the only time we find out if anyone's right or wrong is when the proof is in the proof is in the season. Mal Kipe has been saying fucking dudes are fucking studs and for fucking decades. So mine are already in bed, Ice Water. Mine are already in bed. That's the benefit of being in the UK. It is also 1 o'clock in the morning, but hey, guys, appreciate you all. Have a good one, and I will see you next time. Probably next week. We got to kind of work that out because I started a new job. Trying to get the lay of the land and the logistics on that. And then once we got that right, we'll be back with you. And before we know it, OTAs, preseason, it's all coming up. So, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs!